today wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. You know, thankfully, I think just even support of a few friends really helped me get through it in ways I might not have otherwise. I shocked myself and didn't cause a scene, even though, objectively, it was warranted. But no, I, my instincts, maybe it was the goddamn fucking church. Not even so much the gobbledygook, but again, at the people that were being there. I was kind. I shocked myself and I rose above. Oh, and I would have been warranted to say a lot of things, or to even say things. No. I get in there, and I was inspired because of my father. For my college graduation, again, my father took, from my preschool days, this photo. Blew it up. Oh, the dust of time. Ugh. It was nice because it was also a little embarrassing, Earlier in this year when he was going through his detox, and I was trying to reach out to him, make him know how much I cared or that he was a good person. I would leave this out in his chair, knowing he'd get down and he'd see it. And it would both be, congratulations, William. Congratulations to you, William, for another day. But also it would show him, remind him what a kind and loving father he was. And he was in a pretty crummy mood a little bit during those times, and he could have smashed it, but he didn't. So it was with that spirit that I decided to. And I procrastinated for a long time. I just pulled it out of my ass this morning, but make him this little, some of the photos that I had. You notice up top it's actually the Department of Corrections inmate thing. That was a little wink wink. But no, mind you, keep that in mind. And there's something on the back. So I'm like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to have that. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I'm going to go in with that so people can see the old man. Because I knew it was going to be, God bless him, but it was no fucking, it was just a Biden numbers, cookie cutter, gobbledygook, fucking Roman Catholic, fucking mass, fucking service. Not personalized at all, except for, again, this fucking thing that I brought through. But, so I show up, case the joint. My mother comes at me with the crocodile tears, again, real tears, I think, as well. Now, I'd played this scenario in my head before. For a while. And I'd always thought that was gonna I'd Jeet Kune Do her, boom, into skull, boom, rock, No touching. Plausible deniability, she came right at me. And I hugged her back. And, I don't know. Selfishly, even just for me. I look at her and I go, I forgive you. But I say it very very aggressively, I forgive you. I meant it. Forgetting. Nah. Hashtag never forget. Never lie to myself about what the truth is. They're not in the state they're not ready, so what am I gonna do? But within there comes the rub, because they see this thing and they go, oh yeah, put it up, I guess at the fucking pedestal, on the front of the fucking, the pedestal. Now also they tie me into, I guess, carrying his urn with his remains. My mother's talking about it, and this is funny, because she's like, oh, we have something for you. At first I'm thinking, oh, is it my fucking money? But no, she's like, we have some of his ashes. And you don't know how much I wanted to say. Just flush them down the toilet. But that would have been, she was doing such a good job of pretending like everything was normal. Like, why was I going to tempt the fate by talking about? But I really wanted to say that. But I just said, hey. I know he told me that he'd wanted parts of his ashes sprinkled over at Wickham Park to do that. She's like, oh, well, yeah, we're going to do that already with a portion of it. I'm like, well, add my portion to that one. I'm carrying around enough. But I got to carry the urn that had his remnants in it. And keep mind you, even in that moment, wasn't gonna fucking find Jesus and turn around and become super religious, but it became a very sacramental rite. Simply because I was deprived of being able to hold him in his dying moments the way I wanted. I just spoke about it the other day. How hard that was for me, because I got it with Snickers. That I would have liked to have had that with him. Or just to hold him like the way he did, the way he held me when I was brought into this world. And there's a poor substitute, but I got that chance today. What was left? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So I plunk it down next to this. So mind you, the service continues, and it's a long gobbledygook mass. So I did this Royal Tenenbaums reference in the back. I go, fucking died tragically rescuing his family from the wreckage of a destroyed sinking battleship. Which is a very good joke in that movie, Royal Tenenbaums. And my father is very, we watched that movie together. I don't think it was his favorite movie, but he liked the movie. He thought the movie was funny. He thought that was a funny joke. And I think he's very similar to Royal, in that he's, charming, if not occasionally just like a bullshit artist. He's got the cancer. So I'm realizing, most of the people in Africa didn't get to see it and appreciate this joke, but I'm realizing the whole time that this is what the priest can see. And I'm thinking oh, maybe he's gonna do 2 bits. My handwriting is hard, not legible, so maybe plausible deniability. But then I'm looking over at my mother, and I'm seeing that my mother's squirming. At first I'm thinking, oh, she's probably fucking fiending. Maybe it was a little bit that. But I'm realizing, and yeah, I didn't intend, maybe I was passive aggressive. There's a lot of photos in here where my mother used to be in there, but she isn't there no more. Including, very obviously, his wedding one. Oh, that's not. This one is weird, like they're fucking dancing. Oh yeah, check it out. And just even and then I'm looking and realizing, trust me, I'm the son of 2 fucking neurotics. Alright? I know what goes on. So I'm looking, I'm realizing my mother's realizing that. Did she realize she's been cut out of these photos? And maybe I tried to give her somewhat a remnant of these photos in the past. I don't know. But there ain't much left. So I'm realizing it, then I'm realizing it's just there's my dad from his prime. And then there's I don't even know who this woman is. I don't know if it's a family relative or if it was like a lover he had at the time, but there's also this photo of him with, I don't think it's Sandy, but it's like, oh look, and of course me. I never wanted to pose for the photo properly ever. Was I gonna fucking listen to them? Fuck them, fucking drug addicts. They raised a real asshole. They did good. I learned it from watching them. Nothing's gonna bring my dad back. I miss him. And I wish that his wishes of me taking ownership of that were able to go happen. Not just for me getting, his savings as my inheritance de facto, but just to have a ceremony that would have been a little bit more personalized. But also, a little bit cliche. The Harlem Globetrotters theme and the fucking, the Danny Boy-ish, kinda. I would have did some silly things, but also I would have read this poem, which I got a chance to read to him. One of the times where in hindsight, he was overdosing and could have died, Dylan Thomas, do not go gentle into that good night. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late they grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men, near death, who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And he really did. This is a good poem because it's much like the grieving process itself. You think it's at first him saying, no, don't die, don't go, Father, don't, rage, rage. But then you realize the whole time it's the poet talking to himself. To rage against the dying of their light. But a heavy burden to burn too brightly. But it feels like a darker world now that my father is gone. I was lucky to